OpenAI just sounded the alarm. Not about rogue agents, not about deepfakes, but about Zhipu AI, a Beijing-backed tech firm you've probably never heard of, that has quietly raised $1.4 billion, is expanding across 3 continents, and is now seen as a central piece of China's global AI strategy. OpenAI has gone public, flagging Zhipu as a major player in China's state-linked Digital Silk Road initiative, a move with implications for geopolitics, data sovereignty, and the future of artificial intelligence. This isn't just a tech race. It's a geostrategic power play, with AI as the prize. Who is Zhipu AI? Founded in the innovation labs of Tsinghua University. Often dubbed China's MIT, Zhipu AI has quickly positioned itself as one of the most prominent players in China's AI race. If OpenAI is America's flagship AI venture, then Zhipu is China's carefully cultivated response. And it's not just chasing benchmarks, it's chasing dominance. Zhipu's mission is ambitious but crystal clear. Build general-purpose foundational models, not chatbots for fun, not niche tools, the real backbone stuff. The kind of AI that powers virtual assistants in everyday smartphones, government services that automate bureaucracy, surveillance platforms with facial and behavior recognition, enterprise cloud systems that optimize logistics and manufacturing. But here's what makes Zhipu different. Unlike most scrappy Silicon Valley-style startups, Zhipu is state-backed from the start. It wasn't born in a garage, it was born in a think tank. Its early and ongoing backers include the Chinese Ministry of Science and Technology, state-owned venture capital groups with deep pockets, major telecom firms, and national defense contractors. In other words, this isn't just a clever company building smart tools. It's part of a larger ecosystem, a carefully orchestrated effort to ensure China isn't left behind in the global AI race. Zhipu isn't just a startup. It's an instrument of national strategy, and it answers to more than market forces. It answers to a 5-year plan. OpenAI's public flagging. In a move that raised more than a few eyebrows, OpenAI recently added Zhipu AI to its public threat assessment list. This wasn't just an industry blog post. It was an official designation, an unusually direct signal in a world where big tech companies tend to speak in euphemisms and PR-filtered language. Why the sudden spotlight? Because Zhipu isn't just another AI lab quietly training models behind a firewall. It's aggressively scaling, and not just within China. It's building bridges, planting flags, and forging research ties across borders. In recent months, Zhipu has been expanding into overseas markets, setting up R&D partnerships with universities and firms abroad, acquiring international cloud infrastructure and compute access at scale. For OpenAI and US policymakers, it's not just about who builds the smartest chatbot. It's about where that chatbot's value comes from. The growing concern is that China could leverage companies like Zhipu to export surveillance-oriented AI platforms under the guise of smart governance, influence global digital norms, privacy, content moderation, and algorithmic transparency. Carve out new AI-aligned zones of ideological influence, particularly in developing nations. This isn't just technological competition anymore. It's a soft power play, waged not with missiles, but with model weights and moderation guidelines. OpenAI's message is clear. Zhipu isn't just scaling models, it's scaling ideology. Takeaway number 1. Zhipu is the tech engine of China's Digital Silk Road. You've probably heard of China's Belt and Road Initiative, the sweeping multi-trillion-dollar plan to connect the world through ports, railroads, pipelines, and power plants. But there's a lesser-known sibling, the Digital Silk Road, or DSR. It's the soft glow-screen version of geopolitics, less concrete, more code. While shipping lanes and highways dominate the headlines, the DSR focuses on the invisible but powerful infrastructure of the 21st century. Think high-speed 5G networks, cloud data centers built from scratch, satellite constellations for global comms. Smart city control systems are wired for surveillance and efficiency. And now, full-stack AI ecosystems. This is where Zhipu AI steps in. It's not just building language models for domestic users. It's exporting China-trained AI systems, Chinese language LLMs, and proprietary tech stacks to DSR partner countries. We're talking about entire AI pipelines, complete with data hosting, content filters, and algorithmic priorities, being offered as turnkey solutions to governments in Southeast Asia, tech ministries in the Middle East, urban planners in Africa, telecom providers in Eastern Europe. The goal isn't just business expansion, it's digital diplomacy, offering AI tools that come preloaded with Chinese standards of governance, privacy, or lack thereof, and content regulation. Zhipu AI is effectively becoming the neural network of the digital Silk Road, embedding Chinese AI norms deep into foreign infrastructures. Not through military force, not even through economic pressure, but through machine learning APIs and cloud licenses. It's not just an export, it's a quiet, algorithmic alliance. The $1.4 billion question: where's the money coming from? Follow the money, and you'll find the strategy. Zhipu AI isn't just another tech unicorn swimming in venture capital cash. It's sitting on a war chest. Over $1.4 in disclosed funding. And this isn't coming from speculative angel investors or Silicon Valley-style accelerators. This is industrial policy wearing a lab coat. At the center of Zhipu's financial engine is direct backing from Chinese state venture capital arms, including funds aligned with the Ministry of Science and Technology. Add to that, preferential compute access from state-operated cloud providers, tight affiliations with Tsinghua Holdings, a powerhouse in China's tech-industrial complex, support from Beijing's AI national champions, tasked with advancing strategic tech sectors. And this money isn't just burning a hole in a research lab's pocket, it's being deployed with intent globally. Key spending areas include opening new offices in digital Silk Road partner nations, attracting international AI talent with competitive salaries and cross-border research perks, establishing GPU superclusters near undersea cable junctions for low-latency compute, developing localized LLMs tailored for specific linguistic, political, and regulatory environments. This isn't your average Series C raise. It's a geopolitical investment portfolio disguised as an AI startup. The goal isn't just to invent new tech, it is to deploy it in ways that reshape the digital architecture of other countries, before anyone else gets there. Zhipu's cash flow tells the story. This isn't venture capitalism. It's strategic AI diplomacy, funded, focused, and fully globalized. What Zhipu is building. Zhipu AI isn't aiming to be China's ChatGPT. That would be quaint. Its ambitions are far bigger and far more strategic. Zhipu is building an entire AI ecosystem, one that goes well beyond casual conversation or productivity hacks. It's not just about answering questions. It's about enforcing boundaries, classifying behavior, and amplifying ideological influence. At the heart of this is the GLM series, General Language Model, Zhipu's flagship foundation models. These aren't limited to Mandarin. They're multilingual by design, with fine-tuning for Arabic, Malay, Farsi, Russian, and other languages aligned with China's Belt and Road Initiative. These models aren't just for better translation, they're for shaping narratives in strategically important regions. Then come the visual language systems, AI that can analyze video feeds, read license plates, then track people across smart city grids, and recognize group behavior in public spaces. These tools form the surveillance architecture already being piloted in digital Silk Road nations. But the most consequential layer is Zhipu's applied AI platforms, tailored for state control. These include automated classification tools for internal government communications, political context-aware translation engines designed to neutralize or reshape sensitive phrasing, sentiment monitoring dashboards built to scan social media in real time and flag content deemed subversive or destabilizing. This isn't about boosting productivity. It's about building governable digital environments. These are not neutral systems. They're ideological infrastructure, trained not just on grammar, but on governance. Zhipu isn't just exporting software, it's exporting a worldview, one algorithm at a time. Key takeaway number 2. This is about more than technology, it's about influence. At first glance, this might seem like a tech industry rivalry. OpenAI versus Zhipu, West versus East, another chapter in the ongoing AI arms race. But dig a little deeper, and the stakes become far more serious. OpenAI's concern and Washington's broader unease isn't just about GPU clusters or LLM benchmarks. It's about who writes the rules for the digital future. What happens when authoritarian-aligned AI systems become the default operating layer in dozens of developing nations? What if governments start relying on Zhipu's tools not just to process language, but to enforce social order, manage predictive policing, and automate content control? The real fear isn't about losing market share. It's about losing the ability to shape the ideological foundations of digital governance. And if US or EU companies pull back, whether due to ethics, regulation, or financial risk, Zhipu is already in a position. And it's not arriving with GitHub repos and human rights clauses. It's arriving with a full-stack governance toolkit built to filter dissent, enforce ideological alignment, and enable seamless data feedback loops to Beijing-linked infrastructure. This isn't imperialism with boots and borders, but it is digital colonialism, one where the influence is preloaded, not negotiated. Zhipu's most powerful export isn't its models, it's its norms. What's allowed, what's erased, and who gets to decide? This isn't a war over code performance. It's a struggle over how the next billion people will think online. Where Zhipu is expanding next. Zhipu AI isn't just imagining global expansion. It's executing it, quietly, strategically, and with increasing speed. Behind the scenes of flashy AI demos and academic papers, Zhipu is steadily laying down roots across the global south and beyond, embedding its systems into public infrastructure, legal frameworks, and national AI strategies. In Malaysia, Zhipu is leading a smart city pilot, integrating its visual language models into municipal infrastructure, automating everything from traffic control to crowd analytics and citywide surveillance nodes. In Egypt, it's building a dedicated training node for Arabic language LLMs. The goal? Become the regional hub for Arabic AI tools, tuned not just for language, but for local political and cultural sensitivities. In the UAE, Zhipu has launched a joint venture focused on legal document AI, streamlining compliance, regulation, and legal automation, all while subtly introducing Chinese frameworks into regional policy tech. In Hungary, the partnership is academic. Zhipu is co-developing R&D labs with a state-aligned university, pushing Chinese-trained models into European research pipelines. In Pakistan, Zhipu's models are now integrated into digital ID verification systems, enabling real-time facial recognition, biometric checks, and national ID database automation. And in Kenya, it has launched an AI for Government initiative, branded as modernization, not bundled with state-linked cloud infrastructure, data centralization, and back-end access rooted in Chinese platforms. Each project serves a dual purpose: solve local problems while creating long-term strategic dependence. Zhipu isn't expanding like a brand, it's expanding like a protocol, a new operating system for the global south, one government at a time. What makes Zhipu different from US AI firms? On the surface, Zhipu's models may look like their American counterparts, with chat interfaces, helpful suggestions, and be fluent in multiple languages. But dig deeper, and the divergence becomes stark. US firms like OpenAI, Anthropic, and Google DeepMind emphasize principles like AI safety and alignment with human values, transparency in model behavior and training data, respect for civil liberties and freedom of expression. Zhipu, by contrast, isn't operating under Silicon Valley's ethical playbook. Its models are designed in accordance with China's digital ethics framework, as defined by Central Party policy, the state-endorsed New Internet Civilization concept, an initiative that blends digital modernization with ideological conformity, full state auditability, meaning models can be monitored, adjusted, or overridden by government authority at any time, and it shows in the outputs. Zhipu's models are trained to block politically sensitive questions, redirect or silence discussions on democracy, protest, or dissent, flag language deemed indicative of ideological deviation, prioritize outputs that emphasize order, harmony, and collective unity. This isn't just a different chatbot interface. It's a different worldview, encoded in neural networks. Where Western firms debate ethical guardrails, Zhipu installs ideological boundaries. Where one sees freedom, the other sees friction. It's not just tech, it's philosophy in code. During the Cold War, global alignment was a binary choice. Nations had to pick a side: US-led democracy and free markets, or Soviet-style central planning and ideological control. It was a battle of flags and philosophies. Today, the weapons have changed. The battlefields are digital, and the new front line? Artificial intelligence. We're witnessing the early phases of an AI Cold War, a global realignment not defined by tanks or treaties, but by data pipelines, model architectures, and governance frameworks. One block champions open source models, transparent training data, and decentralized deployment, a continuation of liberal democratic norms extended into the digital realm. The other block is building closed systems with state-controlled oversight, censorship built in at the code level, and ideological safeguards hardwired into the algorithm. Zhipu AI is a clear example of the second path. It doesn't just provide useful tools. It offers an entire governance framework in a box, ready for deployment by governments looking for tech power without any strings attached. Need an LLM that translates legal codes, monitors social media, or classifies dissident speech? Zhipu delivers, backed by Chinese state funding, locally adapted, and free from any external accountability. This is more than infrastructure. It's ideological scaffolding, disguised as software. The real question isn't who makes the most capable AI. It's who uses AI to define acceptable thought, shape digital norms, and redraw the map of global influence. Because ultimately, it's not about algorithms, it's about alignment. What OpenAI is doing about it. OpenAI's decision to publicly flag Zhipu AI wasn't a casual side note or a whisper in a white paper. It was a flare, fired straight into the geopolitical sky. This wasn't just about one company. It was a clear signal that AI is no longer a purely technical domain. It's now a matter of national security, foreign policy, and strategic alignment. In response, OpenAI has begun escalating its approach, moving from passive monitoring to proactive defense. Key steps include increased scrutiny of international AI firms, particularly those with state backing and aggressive overseas footprints. Tighter collaboration with US and EU cybersecurity agencies to track AI-driven misinformation, deepfakes, and covert influence operations. Integrated guardrails in GPT models to detect foreign system probing, phishing attempts, and suspicious language patterns designed to exploit model behavior. But that's just the start. OpenAI is reportedly considering geofencing access to advanced models in high-risk or authoritarian regions, supporting export controls for powerful LLMs, similar to GPU chip restrictions. Actively shaping international AI safety frameworks, especially those governing surveillance use and algorithmic governance in fragile democracies. The company is also lobbying hard for global transparency standards around training data and model provenance, stricter licensing for AI deployment abroad, stronger safeguards against authoritarian-aligned use cases masquerading as neutral enterprise tech. Because in this AI race, speed alone isn't enough. The real stakes? Trust, security, sovereignty. The bigger picture. The coming AI Cold War. Zoom out far enough, and the story of Zhipu stops being about a startup, or even about China. It becomes something much bigger. A growing global divide. A looming AI Cold War, unfolding not in decades, but in real time. On one side, there's the US-aligned axis. OpenAI, Anthropic, Meta, Google. These companies champion a model of AI development rooted in democratic ideals. Transparency, open source research, accountability, and civil liberties. Their models are designed to be interoperable, explainable, and shaped by public dialogue. On the other side is the China-led bloc, with Zhipu AI as a crown jewel. Their model is centralized, state-aligned, and heavily filtered. AI is built not just to serve users, but to enforce harmony, monitor speech, and advance state priorities. In this vision, sovereignty means full control, down to the prompt. And then in the middle is a fast-growing field of non-aligned and regional coalitions. India's AI mission emphasizes linguistic equity and domestic autonomy. African nations are developing frameworks for AI rooted in local values, data ownership, and independence from both US and Chinese systems. Zhipu's global expansion is a red flag. AI is no longer just a tech race. It's a tool of statecraft, a new kind of foreign policy infrastructure, and perhaps soon, a proxy weapon. Not in kinetic war, but in digital governance. This isn't just about hardware. It's about who gets to define the future of thought itself. Zhipu AI isn't just another tech company. It's China's flagship for exporting a new kind of AI-first, surveillance-enabled, state-aligned digital order. And OpenAI's warning? It's not about market competition. It's about which version of intelligence rules the world. Subscribe for more hard-hitting deep dives into the global battle over artificial intelligence. And tell us in the comments, should AI companies take a political stance? Or should AI stay neutral, even in a divided world? Stay blessed and stay curious.